Welcome back. Did you do your home play? Better get used to that question because pretty much every video that I'm going to do, there's going to be like a lesson or an activity that you can implement straight away to get your life moving in a more healthy direction. So of course, having cleaned the cupboards out and the fridge and the freezer, now we have to go shopping and restock them. Now there's a quick tip here. It'll give you a hint as to what sort of things to look for when you're restocking. I'm sure you found many things in your cupboards that you were kind of a little bit surprised at yourself, and you probably wondered, well, what was I thinking when I bought that? And if you did come across items like that, my question to you is, do you need to buy it again when we go shopping? And the answer is very likely no. If you came across stuff that was out of date, that's a very good indicator that it's not something that's part of your life. Therefore, you don't need to buy it. So let's get into what to restock. And the Champion Lifestyle is all about whole, fresh foods. And the tip here is if your grandmother wouldn't recognize it as food, then it's not food, so don't buy it. Okay? And that pretty much covers TV dinners, convenience foods, healthy foods, low fat foods, all of this kind of stuff. And it pretty much means that we're going to be restocking our pantries with fresh, whole foods. So let's start with meat, poultry, and fish. Go for lean cuts, antibiotic, hormone free, organic if possible. Game meats are absolutely excellent in any form pretty much, but not in pre-made burger patties. If you're going to make something into a burger, buy the mince by all means, but make sure it's a very lean version of mince and make your own burgers. It's just that with commercial burgers, even with it, if it's made with a very, very lean meat, you just don't know what else they've added. So make your own burgers, okay? Salmon is always excellent. You get smoked, tinned, fresh or frozen. It's a fantastic fish. Go for white ocean fish. Go for unmarinated food. If you're at the deli counter at your supermarket, yes, you might have some lovely looking chicken skewers, but they'll be covered in commercial sauces. So if you do want to buy things that are slightly more convenient, like skewered fish or skewered meat, make sure it's unmarinated, okay? Don't get things like crab sticks and fish sticks that are just smushed together and you just don't know what's in them, okay? And avoid cheap river fish. Bassa and tilapia are, and I should say cheap farmed fish as well. Bassa and tilapia are the dreadful fishes. Dairy and eggs. Go for free-range omega-3 eggs. We will at some point get into why omega-3, but go with me on this one for the moment. Get free-range organic omega-3 eggs. Feta, goats and sheep's cheese are all great. If you want a cow's milk cheeses, go for aged cheddar, parmesan and romano, and then get some organic butter. Now I notice I haven't got yogurt on here. If you are going to get yogurt, make sure it's full-fat Greek yogurt or labna, something like that. Coconut yogurts are also great if you happen to be dairy intolerant, but make sure they're unflavoured. Do not buy sweetened, flavoured kind of yogurts, okay? Fruits and vegetables, go nuts. Brightly coloured, locally produced if possible. Farmers markets are great, or even just whatever your local market is. Go for stuff that's seasonal as well, because it tends to be cheaper. You can get it in bulk as well. You can often get really good deals of seasonal stuff. Just make it as brightly coloured as possible, because here's another tip. Foods that are brightly coloured, generally, particularly fruit and vegetables, that indicates the fact that they are actually highly nutritious. And this is what we want to do. We want to go for foods that are highly nutritious as well. So let's take an example. Say, for example, spinach is great. Arugula, rocket is also great. These are dark green, in colour, and that indicates their nutritional value is very high. Whereas if you contrast it with something like iceberg lettuce or cos lettuce, they're much paler. That indicates that their nutritional value is significantly less than the spinach or the rocket. Okay, so brightly coloured is a really good tip. Whole grains, make sure they are whole grains. Quinoa is fantastic. Now, if you're going for oats, please do not get instant oats. It doesn't matter what it says on the box or the packet about how healthy it is. Do not go for instant oats. Go for steel cut, rolled, or old fashioned. Okay, buckwheat is also good in it's kind of these little hard granules. Amaranth you may not even have heard of, but it's an ancient grain similar to quinoa, and it's highly, highly nutritious. So it's a really fantastic grain. And whole grain rice. Moving on to sort of things like sauces and condiments. Real guacamole. Now, a lot of the commercial ones, they're just this sort of pale green sludge. Go for a guacamole that's, well, ideally make your own. Okay, that's the best thing to do. But go for one that's got chunks in it. You can actually see the avocado, and it doesn't have any sugar in it. It doesn't necessarily have cream cheese in it, that sort of thing. You want the ingredients to pretty much just say avocado, salt, and maybe tomato. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Hummus, if you can find one that's made with olive oil, get it. Most of them, unfortunately, seem to be made from canola or vegetable oils. But if you can find a good organic one that's made with olive oil, by all means, get the hummus. It's fantastic stuff. Pesto is also great. Again, see if you can find one that's made with olive oil. Soy sauce, fantastic. Salsa. Now, salsa, I love salsa. Unfortunately, I don't eat it anymore because I'm allergic to tomatoes. Again, go for a really low sugar one that's, preferably one that hasn't got sugar added. Same thing with tomato pastes. Don't go for your sort of your pizza bases with that might have basil or olives in it. Just go for the concentrated tomato paste with no sugar added. Balsamic vinegar is also great as well. Beverages. Where possible, you really ought to just be drinking water. The more water you drink, the better for you in general. Avoid all flavoured drinks, okay, or flavours that you can add to water, okay. These are basically just empty calories and made of sugar. So you want to be sticking to green teas, herbal teas, and black coffee. Black tea as well is also good. Fats, unroasted, unsalted whole nuts. Flax seeds, chia seeds, pumpkin seeds. The seeds, all of these seeds are brilliant for just throwing into soups, onto salads, into sort of stews and casseroles. These are great for adding a little bit of extra good fats for you. Extra virgin olive oil, of course, unrefined coconut oil and butter. Now, I only ever use these 3 oils. Don't use vegetable oils, canola oils, nut oils, avocado oils, none of those. These are the only oils I ever use. And again, I might get into that. Some other stuff. Legumes are great. Actually, soup mixes are great as well. If you can get soup mixes that have a combination of chickpeas, lentils, and split peas, I get one which I put in my kitchery, and it's absolutely brilliant. Brilliant for making soups. Herb spices and rubs are great. Try to avoid pre-made marinades. Actually, I will do this. I'll show you because I do get marinades, which are really, really good. So I'll talk to you about how to, what to look for on labels and things. Dried fruit. Now, dried fruit's great, only to be eaten in moderation because they are real calorie bombs, okay? So dried fruit, yes, it's fantastic. Again, great on its own as a little snack or adding to salads and things. And actually, I love raisins in my kitchery. Only use in moderation because they're loaded with calories. And some of them are very highly sweetened as well. Cranberries in particular, I had an awful shock. I got cranberries thinking they were fantastic, but when I looked at the label, it actually had added sugar. So just be careful and look at the label. Beware of the sort of sweetened brands or ones that have got oils added to them. Okay, so that is a summary of the kind of things that we need to be restocking our fridges and freezers with. So that being said, let's go shopping.
Hi folks, Sarah here from the Champion Lifestyle, and as I promised, we're doing some shopping. You'll probably see in the background behind me. There we go. I'm at the market. This is Paran Market in Melbourne. It's really, they do some really beautiful stuff. I've actually just got some really lovely hummus and dolmados and some flatbreads, but actually not for me, those are for my housemate, but there's some really great deli stores here. Now, quick tip, when you're going shopping, always have your list. If you go shopping without your list or without a list of knowing what you're going to be getting, that's when you just, on the spur of a moment, might pick up stuff that you might not necessarily need or, might represent a slightly poorer choice of food for you, depending on what your current goals are. So always have a list. Another quick tip is if you're aiming to lose weight and current plan means that you're going to have to sort of cut back on the calories and cut back on foods, chances are you might sort of start getting hungry and stuff. When you do your shopping, always make sure you've eaten before you do the shopping, if at all possible. Try not to go shopping on an empty stomach because that's when accidents do happen. And trust me, I'm very good at this, particularly when I'm on competition preparation. If I just happen to have forgotten something, which also happens when you're on competition preparation, you do get very forgetful, and I just dash into a shop, that's when accidents happen. So always have a list, and if at all possible, try not to go shopping on an empty stomach. I hope there's another little quick tip. I'm just going to get my beautiful fresh ground coffee. So can't wait to get some of that. And then I will talk to you soon. Hi folks, Sarah here. We've done the market part of the shopping. I've got my lovely coffee and I've got some beautiful cherries and some really, really nice strawberries. I've got 4 punnets for $5, so that's an absolute bargain. And that's why I go to the markets. So now I've just got to finish off the shopping, and the rest of the stuff I need I'm actually in Coles now. In general, when you go supermarket shopping, make sure you have the trusty list so you're not tempted to stray into the middle aisles. I'm sure you've heard it said before that when you're trying to lean towards a much healthier lifestyle, you need to shop around the outside of the supermarkets, because that is where the fresh foods are. Everything on my list is just going to be around the outside of the aisles. And once you start getting into a routine of what sort of foods that you are typically going to eat, particularly fresh food, fresh meats, fish, eggs, fruits, vegetables, shopping actually can become incredibly easy, because you can literally just go straight to the fresh food shop and just pick off stuff that you're going to use, and your shopping becomes super, super quick. I've got so used to doing this that I can actually get my whole week's shopping done in less than 10 minutes, because I literally just head straight to the fresh food aisle, go get my eggs, go get some frozen veg if I need it, and I'm pretty much done. So in and out in about 10 minutes for that. Most of the time I don't even need a list now. So that's the tip. Shop around the outside of the aisles, stick to the list, and get in, get it done, and get out. Ta-da! Shopping done, and this counts as quite a full fridge for me. Even though most of you might be looking and going, where's the food? There's actually plenty of food here now, and I can make all of my dinners. There's some beautiful eggs, look at those eggs, and some lovely organic butter. Most of it's the veggies. As you can see down there, the veggie tray's looking a lot better. And the rest of it will be sort of salads for lunches, form the basis of salads for lunches. Then I'm going to make up the sort of the curries and the kitchery that I mentioned for lunches and for dinners. So you don't necessarily need huge amounts of food to cover you for the whole week. And when I get round to the actual prep, I'll show you how that all fits together.
So there you go. The fridge is now restocked. I actually didn't do a huge restock there because there wasn't actually that much I threw out. All of the stuff that I threw out from the cupboards, I didn't actually replace. So I didn't replace those pastas that I threw out. I didn't go and buy any more of those flours, and I didn't go and get any more coconut milk because I already have a full coconut milk in the fridge. When you do your restock, just remember what you threw out, because those are the things you do not want to be restocking with, okay? Remember, it's fresh, whole, as minimally processed food as possible. So I've just flicked up here the list of the things to restock. So you should be good to go now.